Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eva and here together we explore what the Polish language has to offer. What is the topic of today? Well, there are 5 words that I want to show you that I'm pretty sure you know their meaning when you hear its official version, let's say. But do you know that there are other ways to say those words that probably you have no clue about? So yes, that's the topic of today. We'll see each other after the intro. Okay, so I have my copy with me. Let's get started with number 1. So number 1 is dom. Dom. And we all know that a dom means house. But do you know there's another way that is extremely common to say, particularly among young people, but like, hey, I'm like 30 almost and I say that. So 90s babies will say it, 80s babies will say it, and even kids of nowadays will probably say it too, although they probably have different words as well. Anyway, the word is chata. Chata. And it's super common. So you will often hear people say, let's go back home. They will say, wracamy na chatę instead of wracamy do domu. And yeah, it's the Polish cases that affect the endings of those. But what does chata mean? Chata is actually a hut. So yes, we say that we go back to our hut. Number 2 is a friend in English, and in Polish, in its male version, it's kolega, kolega, or female koleżanka, no? So that's the official word to refer to a friend, not a best friend, just a friend. You know that there's a very kind of a slang version that anyone from 80s upwards, born in 80s upwards, even younger might as well, from the 70s, say that word, particularly when you refer to a male colleague, okay, a male friend. You will say ziom, ziom, or ziomek, and it's super common, seriously. You can also refer to a female friend saying ziomalka, but it's much less popular. It's more popular among guys and who will say that. But the funny thing is that this word has a great origin, super interesting, that I encountered and I would share with you. This word actually, in its original meaning back in the day of the Polish language in centuries ago, referred to a compatriot. I know, and you might think, why? How did it refer to a compatriot? That's because the word ziom, ziomal, ziomeczek, there's so many different variations of that word, derives from the word ziemia, and ziemia is earth. So earth, ziemia, you can say my earth in Polish, moja ziemia, which would refer to your country, So that's kind of a really interesting origin of this word. That is super popular and you'll hear it in 2022 as well. Number 3. So number 3 is papieros. So papieros is the official word to refer to a cigarette, but we have a different word that we can also use that is super common. Again, you can hear it all the time, and it's fajka. Fajka. And fajka is actually a pipe, the pipes that, not like this, the pipes that the men would pipe. So anyway, yeah, we can say actually fajka if we want to refer to a cigarette, and you'll hear people say, instead of, oh, you have a cigarette, czy masz papierosa, they will ask you, czy masz fajkę. Well, hopefully they will stop smoking, but you know what I mean. Number 4, I love number 4, because number 4, actually I will give you 2 words, but the official word that I want to tackle is the word impreza. Impreza, and impreza means party in English. We have 2 colloquial words that we use and are super popular. I mean, I use them still, both. The first one is biba, biba. Or you can make a diminutive of that and say bibka. So biba, bibka. And what does biba and bibka, like, not what does it mean, because we know it means impreza, a party, but where does it derive from? Well, when I was doing my research, I encountered the origin of this word from the verb bibere, which comes from Latin. It means to drink. So, I drink in Latin, then would be bibo, and then we came to biba, which is the impreza in Polish. So yeah, I mean, you do drink a lot in Polish parties. The second word that we use very often, is super popular, is the word mélange. Mélange. And the mélange, as you can hear from the way it sounds, it derives from the French language, and it derives from the word mélange. Mélange. And mélange means to mix. So it's for mélange actually means mix or mixture, something like that. And then we have the verb mêler, which is to mix. So that's what it derives from. And I was thinking, like, how do we get from the French words to the Polish word and description of it? Like, it's probably because at Polish parties, if you make a house party, there's always lots of people, and there are big parties, and usually when you use the word mélange instead of biba or impreza, is because a mélange is a big party. It's a big mélange, and it has 99% of the time a lot of alcohol. I mean, like, a lot. So if you would refer to a house party or any party that you participated in, and it was a long filled with alcohol, then you would use probably the word mélange in Polish, and that's because a lot of people mix. Even alcohols are mixed, so there you go, mélange, biba, which mean impreza. And number 5 that I wanted to share, that again, it's super common to hear it, particularly if someone is hurt, a male in this case, because how do we say differently in Polish the word lover? Lover in Polish is kochanek. And kochanek, derives, this is the official word, it derives from the verb kochać, which is to love. So like in English, to love, lover, but we have a different word to refer to a lover, to refer to a kochanek, and that's only for the male, of course. So if the wife would be cheating on the husband could say, if he could find out, she has ma gacha, because gach is the word. Gach, I know it sounds like gach. We get from a word that sounded like French mélange to a word that sounds like, I don't know, German or something. Gach, I know. So gach is another word that is offensive, by the way. It's not like a vulgar word in the sense that, you wouldn't say it in front of children. You could say it in front of a child, but it's offensive. So it's not only a kochanek. This is gach, Gach. It sounds even worse. It's super funny because actually in Polish, the word gach, apart from the fact that it means, refers to a lover that the wife has, it's also, that's how we call a male hair. So, you see the connection there, male hairs are known for their high physical drive. And that's how we derived, and that's how we got and ended up with the word gach for a kochanek. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this short video. It's just a couple of words that I found hilarious and I wanted to share with you, because like in any language, we know one word, but then, they say it differently once you study it. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe. Check out my Instagram channel, and I'll see you in the next video.